Today I want to talk about rotational symmetry and how this square, triangle, and circle can help you to become a better trader and make a lot more money in crypto. So stay tuned. Okay guys, let's just dive right in. I'm going to start off by making sure everybody understands symmetry and asymmetry, and I want to show you guys what I've been doing now for some time, and it's really improved my profitability and made it easier to trade crypto and continue to acquire Bitcoin at a tremendous discount. I'm going to explain where I got this idea from, and I'm going to go through altcoin season and how you can use altcoin season, how you can use these little shapes right here to help you move forward as you're trading cryptocurrency. Keep your account growing. That's the goal. Not a financial advisor. Everybody says that in their video. I'm just here to share what I've been doing that works for me. So, rotational symmetry. Right here we've got a square. It's equal distance on all four sides. No matter which way I turn this square, or all four sides, if I put either one down here at the bottom 4 times, I'm going to end up with the same image. Here I've got an equilateral triangle. No matter which way I turn this triangle, put any of these sides on the bottom, I'm going to end up with 3 instances of perfect symmetry, the same image. That's what I mean by symmetry. And here's our perfect circle, and truly, no matter which way we turn this circle, we're going to have the same image. That's symmetry. And in a perfect world, everything adds up, everything makes sense, everything is fair, everything is balanced. The market is not a perfect world though. And so in the market, some people are going to lose money, and a select few of those people are going to make that money off of the people who lose money. So part of understanding symmetry, and rotational symmetry in particular, is going to stop you, hopefully, from being the latter of those parties. So let's dive right in. When I started getting this idea, I was listening to a guy over here named Michael Saylor. Now what I'm going to cover is really big picture stuff, but you don't have to be a rocket scientist to follow, hopefully. This guy, he really was a rocket scientist, and he graduated with degrees, literally being a rocket scientist from MIT, and somehow he got turned around and ended up being the CEO of MicroStrategies. He's one of the longest running CEOs, because you know they kind of ebb and flow with companies, but he's been there a long time. And he really got me back interested in Bitcoin. And when I watched one of his longer videos, something on here, it's like 2 hours, an hour or two long. I'm not gonna go through all of that, but I'm going to talk about what I found was important. He talked about how his company was buying Bitcoin, and he was buying Bitcoin. He was very sure that even this year he's going to be able to buy Bitcoin at like a 70% discount. And I'm like, how on earth can that be possible? How can he believe that he's going to buy Bitcoin at a 70% discount? And how was he always profitable last year? Here's what I came up with. There are all these guys over here, and as I'm recording this, it's about May 3rd, and there's always going to be, it never matters, there's always going to be a bunch of YouTubers, and they're going to be talking about alt season. Okay, what is alt season? Alt season is supposedly when 90% of the top 50 coins are doing better historically than Bitcoin. So there's more money to be made by trading the alts. The problem with alt season, for me, the problem with alt season is this. Once you realize, and it truly is alt season, it's not the time for you to buy the coin. The coins have already pumped, they've already outperformed Bitcoin, and it's the time when you should be selling the coin. It's way past the time, if you ask me, that you should have been selling the coin. That's where we're going to get back into rotation and symmetrical rotation. Now, let's go over it and let's look at something that I think is really easy to understand. How's Michael Saylor, and there's probably a lot of ways, he's a rocket scientist, I'm not, so he probably knows a lot of different ways to get Bitcoin at a discount. But here's what I came up with. When the altcoins are outperforming, what if you simply sell some of your profits in the altcoins and purchase a portion of Bitcoin with your profits and a smaller portion with capital? Maybe new capital, or maybe you purchase the whole thing, simply rotating from profitable coins, altcoins, back into Bitcoin. If you understand this, then all of a sudden correlation, which is the reason that I left last time, isn't as much of an issue anymore, because you're just going to rotate into Bitcoin, which is a store of value, and you're going to rotate back into it at a discount. Let me give you an example. I've been talking about this. If you go back and you look on my Twitter, and here's my Twitter here, Trader Alfred. Let me show like everybody else does. If you're not following me on Twitter, really, you need to sit down and really ask yourself, what are you doing with your life? Question your life choices. But seriously, I try and talk about what, sometimes not signals, but I'll talk about what I'm doing and what coins I'm buying, what coins I'm selling, and I'm literally sharing my rotations. They're always based on the numbers and our deviation levels, and I use that to tell me when to start selling off some of my profit as we get the spikes. But let's just look at a spike right now. Here's Bitcoin is down 2.5%. There's Ethereum is up 10%. Guess what I sold earlier in the last 24 hours? And I only sold what was my profit. Let's say there's a round number, and let's say I had, what I mean by that, I had $1,000. Let's say I had $1,000 in Ethereum, and let's say that $1,000 was up $100, so I sold $100 off. I still have $1,000 worth of Ethereum. I rotate again, going back to my little image here, rotate it so that I can get that symmetry back by rotating that unusual profit out of ETH into Bitcoin, which is a proven good store of value. Okay, Binance is up considerably from where I got in. Let's say the same thing. You know, this was up like 7% earlier. I didn't rotate out of this today. Let's say Dogecoin. What sticks out to you? This was up at one point 16% on the day. I didn't sell any Doge. I'm waiting on the round number for Doge. I think it could get to 50 cents. But I've been selling Doge. If you went and looked on my Twitter, you'd notice that I've been selling Doge. I've been selling Doge because of the numbers. Because you can see in my example here, these spikes. And if I get $100 in free money from selling my profits in Ethereum, and I get $100 in free money from selling my profits in Doge, I still have the same dollar value amount of Doge and the same dollar value amount of Ethereum. And if I just put $100 with that and I purchase me some Bitcoin, ta-da! I've now gotten Bitcoin at a 66% discount. And if I can do so when Bitcoin is down on the day, I can further exaggerate this by being able to purchase the Bitcoin at a time when it's down. And because of my rotation, just like these objects that I pointed out over here, the symmetry that the market seeks will come in, and as Bitcoin is underperforming, hopefully it'll start returning to a state where Bitcoin is more in balance with the coins that I just took some of that profit out of. And that is rotational symmetry, guys. In a nutshell, I just shared how you can use it with the altcoins. Now, the deviation levels that we share on our site, they help me a lot with recognizing spikes in the day. But I just gave you guys some spikes that were, if you normalize these and just look at the percentages, you can kind of see spikes. They're wearing out now, but you can still kind of see the spikes that were there on the day. Another thing that's great with rotating, in my opinion, is looking at taking profits and pooling them into a stable coin, let's say Tether, and holding them there until there's aggressive fear in the market, and then I can go and I can make purchases in Bitcoin, a great store of value, or any of my other coins at a tremendous, any other altcoin I'm interested in at a tremendous discount. Because again, when there's so much correlation in the crypto market, and really there's correlation all over in all of the markets at this point, but when there's so much correlation there, when Bitcoin is down and there's a lot of fear there, there's going to be a lot of fear all across the board, and you're going to have an opportunity to pick some things up at a discount, on top of the fact that you're going to be picking them up in a perfect world with profits that you've taken out of coins that have appreciated in value. Because the market's going to look for that symmetry, and there are market makers that are going to come in and make that symmetry as they search out value and they search out yield. When they're profitable, they're going to take it and move it into value, a la Bitcoin. And when they're going into the alts, they're going to be in search of yield, and they're going to look for coins that are going to do the so-called mooning, a la the recent surge that we've seen in Doge. When that's going to happen, if that's going to happen, none of us really know. But I bought some Doge last year, later part of last year, for fractions of a penny. So that's all I had, guys. I hope this is giving you a lot of ideas of how to capitalize more and how to use rotational symmetry in your crypto trading. Once again, this is Alfred for amassers.com. I'll see you guys on the next video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Remember to follow me on Twitter and hit that bell for notifications. See you guys on the next video.